Smokey Robinson was born William Robinson Jr. in the northern Detroit area. When he was little, his uncle Claude, whom he considered to be his godfather, gave him the nickname Smokey Joe. He grew up playing neighborhood games with Diana Ross and Aretha Franklin, whom he first saw when he was 5 years old. He attended Northern High School, where he was an above-average student and a great athlete, but his main interest was music. So much so that in 1955 he would form the first lineup of a doo-wop group named the Five Chimes. After 2 years, the group changed their name to the Matadors and started performing at Detroit venues. They then changed their name one last time to the Miracles, as they are currently known. In August 1957, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles would eventually meet up with Berry Gordy. During the audition, Smokey bought a large 10-inch notebook containing 100 songs that he had written in high school. According to reports, Smokey's vocals and songwriting abilities greatly impressed Berry, who had not yet released any Motown records. The entire audition took place in his converted garage. Smokey claims that Berry Gordy served as his mentor, and that Berry always emphasized how important it is to always want to have a good song right from the beginning. Smokey would go on to become one of 5 of Berry's first employees. At Motown, those jobs included packaging the records, labeling them, shipping them out, and everything else in between. With the Miracles' first song, Get a Job, released, a response to a hit song by popular group The Silhouettes, Get a Job would mark the start to a lengthy and fruitful partnership between the Miracles and Motown. Between 1960 and 1970, Smokey Robinson was a powerhouse in the music industry, producing 26 top 40 hits as the lead singer, chief songwriter, and producer for the Miracles. These hits included several top 10 tracks like You Really Got a Hold on Me, Mickey's Monkey, I Second That Emotion, Baby Baby Don't Cry, and their sole #1 hit during the Robinson tenure, The Tears of a Clown. Additional notable hits such as Ooh Baby Baby, Going to a Go-Go, The Tracks of My Tears, Come Round Here I'm the One You Need, The Love I Saw in You Was Just a Mirage, and More Love peaked in the top 20. The Miracles became the first Motown group to alter their name when they released their 1965 album Going to a Go-Go as Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. From 1962 to 1966, Robinson was a pivotal songwriter and producer for Motown, crafting hit singles like Two Lovers, The One Who Really Loves You, You Beat Me to the Punch, and My Guy for Mary Wells. For the Temptations, he penned The Way You Do the Things You Do, My Girl, Since I Lost My Baby, It's Growing, and Get Ready. His talent also extended to the Four Tops with Still Water Love, Brenda Holloway with When I'm Gone, and Operator, the Marvelettes with Don't Mess with Bill, The Hunter Gets Captured by the Game, and My Baby Must Be a Magician, as well as Marvin Gaye with I'll Be Doggone and Ain't That Peculiar. With the rise of Holland Dozier Holland and the duo of Norman Whitfield and Barrett Strong, Robinson's prominence as Motown's top writer and producer waned. Meanwhile, artists like Gaye and Stevie Wonder began crafting more original content. Nonetheless, Robinson continued to write and produce, creating tracks for the Contours like First I Look at the Purse, the Four Tops' Still Water, and the Supremes' Floyd Joy. His fellow Miracle members, Bobby Rogers, Pete Moore, Ronnie White, and Marv Tarplin co-wrote many of these hits, and Pete Moore also co-producing several tracks with Robinson. In 1969, Robinson aimed to retire from touring to focus on his family and his role as Motown's vice president, a position he assumed in the mid-1960s. However, the success of Tears of a Clown convinced him to remain with the group until 1972, with his final performance occurring in July 1972 in Washington, D.C. After a year of retirement, Robinson made a triumphant return with the release of the self-titled Smokey album in 1973. This album featured the Miracles' tribute song Sweet Harmony and the heartfelt ballad Baby Come Close. However, Robinson's second album, Pure Smokey, released in 1974, did not achieve the same success and struggled to produce hits. During this period, Robinson faced stiff competition from his former collaborators Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, and former Temptations member Eddie Kendricks, all of whom were enjoying multiple hit singles. In 1976, former Beatle George Harrison paid tribute to Robinson by including the track Pure Smokey on his album 33 1/3. Both John Lennon and Paul McCartney Harrison's fellow Beatles, were also fans of Robinson's songwriting. The Beatles even covered Robinson's You Really Got a Hold on Me on their second UK album, With the Beatles, and their US album, The Beatles' second album. Robinson answered his critics with the release of A Quiet Storm in 1975. This album produced 3 singles, including the #1 R&B hit, Baby That's Back At Ya, The Agony and the Ecstasy, and the title track, Quiet Storm. The radio format Quiet Storm, named by DJ Melvin Lindsay, originated from this album. Despite these successes, Robinson's solo career faced challenges due to his demanding role as Motown's vice president, which took precedence over his music. As a result, several of his albums, including Smokey's Family Robinson, Deep in My Soul, Love Breeze, and Smokin', suffered from poor promotion and received negative reviews. Robinson had to rely on other writers and producers for assistance with these albums. Overcoming a bout of writer's block, Robinson found inspiration from his close collaborator and fellow Miracle, Marv Tarplin. After Tarplin presented a guitar tune to Robinson in 1973, Robinson wrote the lyrics that became his first solo top 10 pop single, Cruisin'. The song reached #1 in Cashbox and peaked at #4 on the Billboard Hot 100. It also became his first solo #1 hit in New Zealand. Robson's subsequent album, Warm Thoughts, featured the top 40 hit, Let Me Be the Clock, though it did not match the success of Cruisin'. In 1981, Robinson achieved another chart-topping hit with the sensual ballad Being With You, which reached #1 in Cashbox and peaked at #2 on the Billboard Hot 100. It also became his most successful single to date in the UK single charts. The accompanying album, Being With You, marked a collaboration with George Tobin, and Robinson continued working with Tobin on his next few Motown albums, including Yes It's You Lady, Touch the Sky, and Asar. In 1983, Robinson recorded the R&B ballad Ebony Eyes with fellow Motown artist Rick James. Following a period of personal and professional challenges, Robinson made a significant comeback with the 1987 album, One Heartbeat. The album featured the hit singles Just to See Her and One Heartbeat, both of which reached the top 10 on Billboard's pop, soul, and adult contemporary charts. The popularity of their music videos contributed to their success. Just to See Her won Robinson his first Grammy Award in 1988. The One Heartbeat album became one of his most successful, selling over 900,000 copies in the United States. In the same year, the UK group ABC released a tribute song titled When Smokey Sings. Robinson was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist in 1988, which sparked controversy as the rest of the Miracles were not initially included. In 2012, the Hall of Fame rectified this oversight by announcing the induction of the Miracles. Although Robinson was not listed as an inductee, he was set to induct his former group at the ceremony in April 2012. After MCA acquired Motown in 1988, Robinson stepped down from his position as vice president. Following the release of the Love Smokey album in 1990, he left Motown and signed a deal with SBK Records in 1991. However, his album Double Good Everything failed to chart. Robinson remained relatively quiet during the 1990s, making a notable cameo appearance in the 1998 miniseries The Temptations. In 1999, he made a brief comeback when he re-signed with Motown and released the album Intimate, which included the song Easy to Love. In 2003, Robinson parted ways with Motown again and released a gospel album titled Food for the Spirit on Liquid 8 Records in 2004. That same year, he sang the main title theme song Colorful World for the American children's animated series Todd World. 2 years later, in 2006, Robinson released an album called Timeless Love on Universal Records. In 2009, Robinson released the album Time Flies When You're Having Fun on his own label, Robso Records. It reached number 59 on the Billboard album charts, his highest position since One Heartbeat. He followed this up with Now and Then in 2010, which peaked at number 131. Robinson continued his career with the release of Smokey and Friends in mid-August 2014, an album of duets featuring collaborations with artists such as Elton John, Linda Ronstadt, and James Taylor. The album reached number 12 on the Billboard album chart. In November 2017, Robinson released his first post-Miracles Christmas album titled Christmas Every Day. In 2018, he appeared on an episode of CMT Crossroads alongside country singer Cam. In April 2017, Robinson visited Fremont Lopez Elementary School in Stockton, California, where he served as a designated arts mentor under the Turnaround Arts Program. Robinson collaborated with Anderson .Paak on the song Make It Better, featured on Paak's 2019 album Ventura. In 2023, Robinson announced the release of his first album in nearly a decade, titled Gasms, released in April 2023. The album features 9 new tracks, and its first single, If We Don't Have Each Other, was available on streaming services by January 2023. Robinson was married to his fellow Miracles member Claudette Rogers in 1959. The couple welcomed 2 children, a son, Barry Robinson, born 1968, named after Berry Gordy, Motown's founder, and a daughter, Tamla Robinson, born in 1971, named after the original Tamla label established by Gordy, which eventually became Motown. Despite his marriage, Robinson admitted to having affairs with multiple women, including a year-long affair with Diana Ross. Robinson claimed Ross ended the affair because she felt uncomfortable being involved with Robinson while being friends with his wife Claudette, whom Robinson still loved. Robinson had expressed that he believes it is natural to love multiple people at the same time. Additionally, Robinson had another son named Trey, born in 1984, with a different woman while still married to Claudette. After admitting to fathering a child outside of his marriage, Robinson filed for legal separation and later for a divorce, which was finalized in 1986. The couple had previously separated in 1974, during which time Robinson engaged in an extramarital affair that inspired the song The Agony and the Ecstasy, featured on his album A Quiet Storm. In May 2002, Robinson married Frances Gladney, and the couple owns a home in Pittsburgh that they use as a winery. How many more stories like this are hidden behind the glitz and glamour of the music industry? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.